After Hurricane Milton crashed through the state yesterday, killing at least 16 people.
It shows the power of twisters. That's a massive dumpster sucked up in the force of the wind.
Dealing with the sort of consequences.
Are literally looking like this. Should be like this. They're all like this.
It could be the worst storm the city has seen in over a century.
What is going on, guys? Ryan from Livin here. I wish I was bringing you a nice offshore inshore fishing adventure on Little Salt or something today, but we are currently waiting out. Hurricane Milton's coming. It's now starting to rain, so we're going to make this quick, but we have storm prepped here today, and I'm just going to be showing you guys what we did, taking guys along the adventure. We're here in the Treasure Coast of Florida, Fort Pierce specifically, and it's definitely starting to rain now, so we're going to go quickly. We got the boat over here. We decided to leave the big boat here on the lift, strapped up really good. It's not going anywhere. We cleared off all of our docks. You can see the tide is rising pretty high already. This one usually goes underwater if it's an extreme king high tide, so this is normally submerged. Not normally, but regularly. It's not abnormal. We have a Little Salt pulled here. It's in the driveway. We'll go show you that. But we decided to pull that. Let's hurry up because it's raining already. We got kayaks put down, paddles put away and everything like that. We started to sandbag our back patio over here, so we got a bunch of sandbags ready to go. Just got to throw the last of the shutters up on here and finish sandbagging. Run out to the front yard here real quick. Like I said, of course, it started raining right now. But first off, guys, prayers off to the West Coast. They're the ones that really need the prayers. We're just on the water over here, so we're a little concerned about the storm surge. But other than that, we should be okay. Fingers crossed. We think it should be hitting us as a Category 1. It's hitting the West Coast just kind of starting now into tonight as a Category 4, which is higher than they expected. But storm surge is definitely our problem over here. But got my truck over here with us. Here's Little Salt. So we're going to have buckets of water. 1, 2, and 3. Now those are tied down to the trailer. So that is going to keep the trailer anchored to the ground. Hopefully that's the idea. So that way it doesn't blow away, doesn't float away, anything like that. We also have rope tied onto the boat. Walk out into the rain for a second, holding the boat to the trailer so that way it stays together. That way it all kind of stays anchored down. We got our cover over here tied down. We have the electronics and stuff underneath here. We took off our Raymarine on the top, but we wanted to try to keep that as dry as possible, so we're risking the cover, keeping it on. But we got a sandbag on the top over here and over here to help give a little bit of weight to the boat. We're gonna have the jack stand up a little bit, just so it doesn't move around. So this boat is now not moving around because it's sitting on these 2 buckets. Hopefully that keeps it from swaying. Without that, the wheel was kind of going everywhere, and it's kind of worried about going right into my truck there. So that's kind of the deal with Little Salt. Got all cleaned up and got everything off of it that can't get wet. But last ditch resort. We have an anchor out here. That's really not to anchor up the boat if it's floating away. That's more of like a anchor the boat so it doesn't sway into my truck. That's kind of the worry, is that wind would come over here and push it going into the truck. So this is supposed to help with that, hopefully, fingers crossed. We go on over to our front door over here. We got a lot of sandbags. We're loaded up with sandbags. We got the tarp, everything laid down as best as we could. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that, but we are on a cord over here, and you can see at the bottom of the driveway there's already some flooding over there. The front over here loves to flood on regular rainstorms. Really isn't the best drainage over here on the island. So you know, we're kind of protecting it from over there from all the rain flooding in the court. Also, you can see you got mangroves right over there at the end of the street. Right in those mangroves is salt water. So salt water will actually rise up to those mangroves a lot of time during like king high tides. So the salt water can come from that way. So we'll have salt water that way, fresh water pooling up in here, salt water coming from the backyard. But that's kind of the deal. That's kind of our situation here. We're expecting about probably 80 mile an hour up to gusts for winds. I mean, it's pretty dark out already over here. The bands are starting to make their way through. Hopefully all the toys are okay. But enough blabbing right now. We're going to keep you guys updated as much as I can. Tomorrow's probably going to be the brunt of the storm for us. Prayers out to the West Coast. Obviously this video is coming out after the storm is there. Between the 2 hurricanes here, they cannot get a freaking break. And I have friends over there who have left their homes and everything like that. So, you know, We're very happy to be on the east coast of Florida, but prayers out to the west coast, and hopefully they'll make it through, you know, and just build back better. Praying over here for the Treasure Coast. We haven't gone through too many bad storms, and this is definitely going to be up there for probably the worst that we've been through. So hopefully everything is okay. Hopefully we still have a boat in about 24 hours time. Winds are starting to kick up. Time to go back inside and wait this thing out. We got our first storm update for you guys. It is just after 4 o'clock. We did that original update at around, I don't know, around 2 o'clock, so it's about 2 hours later. We're definitely in the outer bands of the hurricane now. I mean, it's getting pretty nasty out. We're getting a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. It's blowing pretty good. It probably gusts up to 35, 40 miles an hour already. I'll try to zoom in. You can see our neighbor's dock is pretty much submerged under there. We got loud lightning and thunder cracking over here so far. And we got our patio is flooding, rainwater over here. This hurricane is way the heck far away, and we're already feeling it out here. It's probably going to be time to start shuttering up the last open door over here pretty soon. And we have gotten multiple warnings already. Show you guys. There is, this is off my Instagram story. We had a tornado warning. A couple of those. There was a tornado spotted in Vero Beach, which is about 20 minutes north of us. So that's pretty close for comfort. There's been tornadoes spotted in Dade County. There's been Palm Beach County. There's tornadoes all over the place, which is going to be devastating to people not expecting it yet because the storm's pretty far away. But we're over here on Hutchinson Island, and they are closing our bridges at 8 p.m. today. So about 4 hours, we will be stuck on this island. No getting on, no getting off. Only way is little salt and big salt back there. That's how we're getting on and off. But that's a little hurricane update for you guys. Woo! That was loud. We'll see you guys in a couple hours. Live update here from the Salty fam. We have lost power already. It is 4:30, same day. It is Wednesday, 4:30. The hurricane hasn't even touched the west coast yet. It hasn't made landfall. And it's a category 3, and we've already lost power. A little earlier than we were expecting, but we're gonna have to take it. Well, losing our power this early was definitely not in our plans. Let's take a look at how everything else is doing. Boat still looks solid, looks good, it's held up to the gust. Our dock, as suspected, is underwater already. Looks to be about like an inch or so. But we are at high tide. We're just past high tide, so that should be going down here soon. But we'll show you guys the front because the front's a little scarier. Little Salt is hanging in there, looking pretty good, so is the truck. But the court is what is concerning. You can see the court's completely flooded already, and we've only gotten a little bit of rain. This is all fresh water. See, it goes all the way down. Just the drainage of this neighborhood is not good at all. So that's why we ended up sandbagging the front door, was because of this fresh water just getting stuck over here. So it's pretty deep, guys. I mean, you can see it goes pretty deep on the boot there. It's definitely a couple inches, I'd say 4 inches of water there. So not ideal, I can tell you that, but makes me glad that we put the sandbags in front of our front door. And we're gonna go ahead and throw up the last of the shutters, and we're gonna be able to go out of the garage door to check up on for you guys, but we don't have much longer. Look at that big old nasty cloud that's coming. We don't got much time, so little update for you guys. We'll check back in with you soon. So it's about 10 o'clock at night. Power never came back on. We got an update, and they said that the power should be back on by Friday. So it's done for the storm. We're waiting it out without power for about 3 days. It's not as windy as it was before during my last crazy updates there right before the power went out. We haven't really gotten any torrential downpour in a while, and the winds have calmed down a little bit since then. That was like a really strong band that came through. Right now it's pretty calm. It's just blowing about 35, pretty steady right now. Nothing too crazy, no crazy thunderstorms, but that seems like it's all going to come tonight. Tonight seems like it's going to be around, you know, 3 a.m. we're probably going to get woken up in the middle of the night by some crashing and booming and everything like that. And around 8 a.m. is when we're going to be probably peaking with the hurricane, when it's going to be sitting right here on the East Coast. So we're going to be sitting tight. Probably we'll get up I'm assuming at some point in the middle of the night, probably will come out here and take a look and show you guys what's going on. But that's the current update. We're all good over here, except for a lot of tornadoes that have been popping up. I'll probably throw a couple of videos that I find online of some tornadoes. They've been all over Port Saint Lucie, Jupiter, Vero Beach, which is only about 20 minutes away, in Port Saint Lucie even less. Out west a little bit, Dade County, Palm Beach County, Wellington. There's been tornadoes popping up everywhere and been devastating. So everybody's just kind of hanging in there. We got our power hooked up to our friendly neighbors over there who have a generator for the whole house. We'll be running ours tomorrow independently, but that's pretty much it for this update. It's been a pretty quiet last couple hours, which is a good thing during a storm. And we're sitting tight and waiting out. Milton's on his way. Well, good morning. It is about 8 a.m. So this is about when it was supposed to be peak time for Hurricane Milton for us. You can see it's pretty dang windy. Woo, and starting to rain. But honestly, this is not nearly as bad as I thought it would be at this time of the morning. So the hurricane is just off the coast now of the East Coast, north. It's right north of Melbourne, kind of in that like Palm Bay area. So it's a pretty good safe distance away from us, and we have some people who live up there who say it's just a bit windy, but that's about all. The storm ended up being really dry here so far today, which has been a saving grace for us. As you can see, the court that was once completely flooded is actually completely drained. Now right now the hurricane's right off of the coast of the East Coast. We're gonna hide behind my truck here so we can get a little wind. Okay, so the hurricane right now is right off of the East Coast. It's now into the Atlantic, just north of Melbourne. I have some friends over there and they said that it's still pretty windy over there, but nothing crazy. It seems like the main story over here on the East Coast has been the tornadoes. So far we're finding out that the West Coast got pretty devastated. The Tampa Bay Rays, Tropicana Field got the roof torn off and everything we just heard, so pretty crazy stuff going on over there. But we're gonna take a walk around here, see what's going on with our property. But it's really good to see that the water did not come up last night, that it did not rain. That is gonna be our saving grace here for this hurricane, is the lack of rainfall for us. This is kind of the main damage we've seen so far. This is our mango tree. It's a giant mango tree. And we got a big old limb down on it. That is a pretty hefty sized limb. Thinking that might have happened somewhere at like 2 in the morning, because we all ended up waking up around that time. So we all woke up to a loud crack. That might have been it. But you can see the boat from here still looks like it's there, which is great, because that's the main concern. We got all of our stuff on the side of the house, did not move at all. Kayaks did not move. Pool's a little dirty, but nothing bad. You can still see it is still quite windy out. But nothing too bad at all. Boat is looking good. Neighbors' boats are looking good. See, they're not in any threat of a storm surge right now. The tide is way down. We're looking pretty good in that retrospect. I am very glad that we got Little Salt off of that lift over there, because that boat is so light. I was afraid this wind will just pick it right up and throw it right off the lift, even if we strapped it down. And this is what we're dealing with. Probably gusting 40s, I would say. 40 something miles an hour here. We don't have power. We're not expected to get power back anytime soon. It feels great out here. It's 79 degrees inside the house. It is 74 degrees out here. Doesn't really feel like much humidity, and a really cool breeze. So honestly, it feels great. We're gonna open up some shutters, open up some windows, get some air going through the house, maybe, once this passes over a little bit more. But it's seeming like we lucked out over here a little bit. Big Salt, Little Salt, Big Blue, everybody's good. The Salty fam is looking safe here from Hurricane Milton. Well, today is Saturday. It is just afternoon, and would you look at this? We got power back. Finally. 60 hours later, we are back on the grid, online. ready to go back to our normal lives. So overall, we can't complain. We didn't get affected that bad from the hurricane. 60 hours out of power, very, very minimal damage. Just one major limb down, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to go ahead and document our experience here with the hurricane. You never know what it's going to be like. I just drove up to Vero Beach, which is about 20 minutes north of us, and it's a whole different situation over there. They had a lot of tornadoes coming through, and they got a lot more devastated than we did. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. Definitely consider subscribing down below. And until our next video, remember to keep living salty.